Hey y'all, this is Rodney again. I want to address something. I just put that video out about this landfill down here, and those people last night was pretty upset. All right, and that meeting last night really doesn't have anything to do with unions, other than unions are about collective bargaining and about people coming together to make their lives better. And the citizens over there last night, they come together to try to correct the problem they have. And this is a tough one down here, because I am pro-business. I told y'all in that other video, union is pro-business. People don't believe it, but unions are pro-business. That's what I wanted to tell you real quick about being a Republican and a union man. A union is about, number one, about the agreement. I've been in business all my life, and they just, some people, they just don't like to keep the word they tell you, especially out here doing business with people. I'm just going to give you an example. It's never happened to me, but it's just an example, but something you can understand. Let's just say you go out here and you agree to cut a man's yard for him for $50. He's going to provide the lawnmower, the gas. He's got an acre and a half he wants you to cut with a push mower, and you agree to do it for $50. And you work all day cutting that grass, and at the end of the day, he says, I don't even know who you are. I want to have you arrested for trespassing. I ain't paying you nothing. Get out of here. Well, most people wouldn't do that, but I know of an old fellow that did exactly this. He wasn't cutting grass. He was cleaning a ditch out for a man. He got through it, and at the end of the day, the man just run him off, didn't pay him. Well, that was a verbal agreement, which a verbal agreement is a contract. It's just not enforceable in court. Right? But at least if you have a contract, you have something that you can enforce in a small claims court. You probably wouldn't take a $50 contract to small claims court. You'd just walk off mad, But companies do this. Got somebody close to me went to work over here at a company that, if I was to tell you the name of it, you all know who it is. And went to work over there, and they told him, said, you get about 10 hours a week overtime. And he done his numbers, and he said, I can do that on the overtime. He took the job. Overtime lasted just a week or so. Last time I talked to him, he's going to have to quit that job. Should have never went to work over there. He went to work over there based on what they told him, and it was a lie. Well, if he'd had an agreement, he'd have something to hold him to. You know what I mean? Now, that company didn't have to lie like that. This guy, he's a top hand at what he does. He knows what he's doing, and they wanted him, but they didn't want to deal with him on above the line. They wanted to lie. They wanted, and they lied to him. They made a fraudulent statement. They made an oral contract, but he doesn't have anything he can back it up with. He's just going to have to quit. And all that time that he spent there, he's supposed to be getting that overtime because they said it. He ain't never going to get that back. He just going to have to wait till he gets another job. Well, you can't hardly do that with a contract. And that's what the union's about. It's about that agreement. Now, we get the power to have that agreement signed through collective. We say, none of us is going to work if we don't have an agreement, and we have to stick together. But the basis of it is the contract. You sign a contract when you go buy a car. You sign a contract when you buy a house. You sign a contract when you go to the hospital. You sign a contract when you go buy cable TV. When these companies, they lease equipment, they sign contracts. They sign contracts for advertising. They sign contracts with their cable TV. They sign contracts. But they don't want to sign contracts with labor because they want to be able to do what they want to. And your Republicans that don't have a good understanding of this, and boy, they hate what I'm telling right now. I'm telling you, they're going to hate me. They want to say, well, economics changing, we have to be flexible with our agreements. Put that in the agreement. Put that flexibility in the agreement. Or instead of like that company telling that man he's going to get 10 hours overtime, tell him he just go get 40 up front. Be up front, but no, you just go get 40 hours now. You'll get overtime every now and then. But most of the time it's just going to be 40 hours. Just be up front about it. You know, but they don't want to do that. All right. Now, there is a problem with the way employees follow through with their end of the deal. All right. In the industry I work in, they can fire you at will. They don't have to say nothing to you. They just fire you, get you off the job, go on. I want to finish up with this. When I get up and go to work in the morning, it's a business decision. It's about money. When I put my boots on and my feet hits the floor, it's about money. It's not about friendship at work. It's not about loyalty. It's not about a certificate. I'll stop right there just a minute and tell you something about a certificate. I went to a company meeting, a corporate meeting one time with a group I was involved in. And they said, you have to understand that your employees, they don't only work for money, and that you don't always have to give them money or a raise. They work for recognition and significance as well. And you can give them a certificate instead of money, and they will be more loyal to you than they would for money. And I want you to think about that. All these people getting these certificates, and you put it up on your desk, and you're at the end of the week, you're about to starve to death because you ain't making enough money to cover all your bills, but you got you a certificate. Well, that's a company ploy. Now, that doesn't mean that the company could pay a whole lot more. That's a whole different discussion. But I work for money. And I keep up with the cost of my groceries. I keep up with the cost of gas. I know, and of course I've been in business. I see my living as my cost of business. And I need to cover that cost of business. I don't consider myself making money until I cover my cost of business, which is my living. Now, I keep my living as cheap as I can. But it's a business decision when I go to work. And I like a contract with me when I'm working with these big corporations. And now when I'm doing my plumbing work and I've got multiple customers, there's a lot of times I'll just shake a hand with somebody and make a verbal agreement, because most of my customers are good people. After you've been in business a while, you have that kind of customer, base that you know who you're doing business with. But like with me, with the plumbing, if I got a customer that stiffs me, he ain't stiff my whole income. I just go to work for somebody else, and I'll put him over there on a bad list. And if it's for enough money, I will take him to court. But if you're working for a company like this buddy of mine, they told him to go get 10 hours overtime, and they stiffing him out of it, he can't